purchased my new trailer load of stuff to drag home. A couple of old MTDs badged as Daytons, 16 horse Daytons. So what, 75 maybe? I don't know, I'll find out. I think they're probably both the same. Yeah, nothing's awesome, but you know what? It's all solid. It's got that cool patina rust job going on it. I can spray a clear coat on that and keep it that way, and that'll be my rat rod lawn tractor. Look at the deck on this thing. If that's not, I don't even know. Like, is that brand new? Like, can you even get, how would you find a brand new deck? I just wonder if it's been completely restored, because that is one heavy duty solid deck. Oh my God, this is a beast. All right, let's get on back down the road. Get these babies home. Let's get this thing running. I gotta get the grass cut. Alright, it is the next day, and I'm kind of curious to dig into this electrical system on this old MTD 990 16 horse. There's a starting issue. First thing I'd want to do is just take a quick look at the wires. Alright, at this point nothing really looks horrendous, but I'm not a wiring expert. In fact, I despise electricity. I just don't even really know how it works. I can't picture it in my head. I see some mouse things up in the cylinder head there under the cover. I'm thinking, well, I'll try blowing it out first. I don't see it packed in there, but anyways, let's check the battery and see what we got for voltage. And we're getting 12 volts. So battery's not the issue. Next thing I want to try doing is jumping the starter. This should turn over the motor. If the ignition was on, and it's not, it might even start, but if it does and I don't know how to turn it off, it might be a problem. I don't think there's any gas or anything in this thing. But let's just try turning it over to see what happens. You know what I like to do? I prefer to put, well, how's that happening? How did it turn over and I don't even have, oh, because it's because it's grounded already, it's installed. So all I need to do is run a positive lead to the positive post. So, well, at least I know it works. Let's try it again. She's running while she's turning over, so that is not the problem. What if I put a little spray in it and see if it puffed? Turn the key on. First I'll turn the key on and just see what happens. Alright, I'm going to spray a little engine start. Plenty. Come on. Alright, if it had spark, it would have lit a little bit there. So no spark. There's going to be a kill wire somewhere. There might be a kill wire. I'm going to show you something here. Okay, here's something I was thinking might be an issue. If we roll in a little bit here, there's a lever for starting position and drive position. Well, it's kind of seized in place. So I want to take this whole fender and tunnel assembly off, and I don't know anything about these, so I want to sort of look inside there and see how this all works. Yeah, loose. So yeah, the control lever knobs will come off, no problem, and this whole thing should just lift up. I mean, these bolts are pretty old. Might need to put some heat to them. Try them with the impact gun first. But because this doesn't move down to the start position, there may be an electrical switch in there so that you can't start it and drive. Alright, off the ground. Alright, I hooked up my test light here to the ground on the back of the starter generator here, and now I'm starting to look around, sort of following the ignition wires and things, and I found the relay. So positive battery cable, that big orange one back there, runs to the one side of the relay, and then of course a big wire comes off the other side of it and runs up here to the starter. So we've got to make that relay work. So the way that happens is that little wire on top with the 90-degree boot sends 12 volts when you turn the key, and it operates a little plunger inside the relay and connects the two sides together, starting your tractor. Well, let's pull off that wire on the top and put the test light to it. Okay, so I got the probe inside that wire. I'm going to reach up to the dash and turn the key and see if it gets 12 volts through that wire, and it does not. But look what I found here. Remember I was saying, ooh, you know, this thing is probably, it won't start if it's not down in the start. Well, down below that relay, back in there is a safety switch connected to that rod on the tunnel. So let's pull that off and see if I can bypass it. So it's now off the safety switch. What do I want to do? I'm going to jump it. I'm going to jump it with a U-nail or something here. Okay, I'm going to now. Okay, now I'm going to put the test light back in, and try turning the key again. See if we get any electricity. Not even a little bit. So we're not getting electricity through the ignition system right at the key, maybe. So I'm going to take a look at that key switch and see if maybe there's a wire off the back. Let's go do that. Alright, I just took the plug off the back of the key for ignition there, and have a look at this. See what you think. Wait for it to focus. Try again. I mean, look at that. Is that really going to conduct electricity in a acceptable manner? I kind of don't think so. So I'm going to clean that up and do a little probing with the test light and see if I can get some electricity through that. Alright, let's try a little bit of electrical contact cleaner. See how that works out for me. So far not so good. Oh, this is just a nightmare. I'm probably going to have to pull the ignition right off. That's just nasty stuff right there. I'm going to get some compressed air and try blowing that out. Okay, on negative, just test it real quick. On positive, nicely done. Okay, working. Let's pull this plug forward here and just start touching it against different leads. Oh, we got power. We have power to the ignition switch, to the key. What if I just push it back on and try it? Maybe that was my entire problem. Nothing. That didn't work. Nada. So here's my deal. I totally have everything working on this wiring harness from the parts mower. So let's get hacking away at the wiring on the mower itself, and let's make this thing turn over at least. I might not be able to make it start yet. I haven't got the fuel or anything, but let's see if I can make it work off a key. This is going to be run up and twist tied up to the top when I'm done. So this will be my kill wire. I've got 2 wires somewhere here going to the generator. That's these guys, so let's do that now. They'll also get twist tied or zip tied to something, maybe the fuel line. What is everything? Every time I set it down, it gets itself retangled up again, so I gotta stop setting this down. Well, should I put the battery on and see what happens? Maybe. Maybe I'll set the thing on fire. Where is the fire extinguisher? Well, but I'm going to put on the battery cable. Well, I'm going to touch it real quick first. Fine. Headlights? Nope, we got nothing. Okay, but it's a start. I might have to pull the plug off and check it. It worked. It just turned over, right? Let's try it again. Oh yeah. Alright, well hey, I guess the plug was just not on very good on the back of the key, so I'm not sure how I'm going to do this. Oh, I know, take the key out and plug it back on. Try that. Woo! Alright, it's turning over. Woo! So the ignition works. Sorry, the starting system works. I don't know if the ignition system works. I'll pull the plug, take a look at it. Alright, we'll try that. Okay, no spark. Okay, but the starting system's working. Now we just need to look at ignition. I think the easiest thing to do is going to be to look into the points down in here under that cover, which is gooped in place, so I'm not sure what that's about. It might be broken. If it is, I'll go pull the one off the other machine. Okay. So I got the cover off and a whole bunch of goop off. This line I suspect means top because that's where the slots are for the wires to go in. I suspect it was all gooped up just to make sure there's no moisture in the points. It looks like there's new points put in. So I'm going to take a look and see if they're adjusted right. Maybe turn it over and see if they're even moving. Clean this up after. Oh yeah, they're moving. Okay. So there's points. See what they look like. Ooh, I think they're burned out. There's a great big old pit right in the middle of that. Oh, they completely burned out. The center's burned clean off. So I need to get a new set of points for sure. They're gone. So, alright, brand new points. Decided to go ahead and just buy some. They were pretty damn expensive too, 40 bucks. Part number, hopefully you can read that. That's Briggs number. These aren't Chinese points. Okay, it's all together. I gotta gap those points. Okay, 20 thou. I don't know if you can see that. I can't. There we go, 20 thou. Lock it down, check it again. Alright, I don't know. I might have spun. Try it again. Oh, 20 thou. Drops in there nice and easy. Little bit of drag. I see them working. mouse nest. Oh, there's a mouse in there. Very rusty, very cruddy. Nice. Now, right there. Magnet. Okay. 12th thou. Beautiful. Tighten it down. Feels good. Feels good. Alright, let's see if we get a spark. Oh no. Oh, I got the, I can't.
Didn't connect it?
No, yeah, I got the belt off for the starter.
Oh.
No spark. So it might be the plug. All right. Oh, that one's loose already. I don't know. I don't have my glasses on, so I'll have to run that in and take a look. But what is around that? I don't even know, but alright, so right there. I'm sure I just felt a spark on this.
Oh, that's not good.
Well, I wouldn't think so. I'm just gonna not touch anything and try that again. Oh, I just got a spark on the key. Alright, I gotta show you something here on this tractor. I went in and did a little research, but you'll see I got a new project over here. I'll get to that in the next video maybe, but let's finish this one up. I was curious how I got a shock when I was leaning on this steel bar. Well, not like leaning on it, but touching it. And touching the key when I turned it over. And so I did a little research, and it was like, oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, if the coil wire, if the spark plug wire, I should say, is shorting onto a shroud, you know, they go through and, you know, maybe clamp down with a metal clamp to the engine block, or maybe cut a little bit on the steel shroud where they duct through. You're going to get it shorting to ground, and you'll get a shock on the engine or the frame instead of the spark plug. And the spark plug won't work either. So what I've done is I've sort of fished this spark plug wire sort of through the shroud a little bit, gave it some slack. I undid the clamp that holds it there and moved the clamp down a little bit. And then I turned it over, and voila. So I'm going to do that again just to demonstrate. I'm going to grab a handful of key over here and check it out, folks. Well, yeah, that is a spark. So problem solved. I got to put this all back together. It's late Sunday night right now, so, but that's a good sign. That means I'm well on my way to getting this thing figured out. Now I can get into fuel. If there's even a fuel problem, I don't know. I'm tempted to put a little spray in it and fire it up. You know what? Let's just see if it coughs. Snug. Drop that on there. You heard that. That was combustion, compression, and ignition. Alright, it's going to run. We solved the problem. I got to put it all back together again. And at first it seems like maybe it was a waste of time taking the front end off there and, you know, messing with the coil and stuff. But really, I'm glad I did. I'm glad I got in there. And, you know, I couldn't have really fished around with this spark plug wire if I didn't have that shroud off anyways. And of course I found a rat's nest. That had to be, or a mouse nest I should say. Where's the mouse? He's around here somewhere. I don't know. Maybe he got dragged off by another mouse. Anyway, there we have it. I'm going to just throw, just to make sure no critters get in there overnight, just throw this cover on over top and make sure that everything's sealed up because, hey, now I could tell that muffler is shot. That was a loud crack there. So I'll pull the muffler off the parts one, put it on this one, and man, I am going to be rolling. Points and condenser are working. Of course, got to get the cover back on and all that and stuff. So yeah, let's tidy this thing up and get mowing some grass. Woohoo! Alright, I'm back. It's time to put this thing back together. I have spark, I have a starting system. I don't know if I have a charging system, but that's okay. I'll figure that out after. Got to put the points cover back on. Have to pull this pulley back off to put the cover back on. That didn't sound good. Nothing. Alright, where were we? Okay, looks like a tractor again, almost. Oy. Alright, well, let's get the GoPro and show you something. So tell me, what are the odds that you get everything working, all the wiring, all the points are done, I've gapped the coil, I found the electrical problem, both starting system and ignition system. I hop on the thing to go for a test drive, the deck raised up just fine, hydraulically. It moves forward and backwards hydraulically, but see if you notice something here. Take a look at the front wheels down there. That's right. That's right. That's right. I'm on my test drive. I got no steering. So what are the odds of that? It fell off its ball here. And I'm a little concerned that that's going to come off again when I get out there. I'll try to bang it on here. That's no good. Okay, no grease. Give that a shot. I mean, it's on, but it's going to come off again. So, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm not going to get into anything tricky out there. I'll keep it out and clear for the test drive. pretty good. I don't have it revved up very high, but the deck engaged. I'm gonna try cutting some grass. I'm going to call that a pretty decent test drive. I cut the whole lawn. Everything's fine. Not really everything, but I mean, it cut nice. So what I have to do, this shroud on the front of the motor is still touching the pulley down there. So I'm going to way down low. I don't know if that'll focus. And so I might have to, I hope I don't have to pull the front end off again. Hopefully I can get down in here and figure out the mounting bolts for that. I know one bolt I left out because I couldn't get it in. It's just gonna be a pain. But I'll have to fix that because it is scraping. What was the other thing? I did see that all the hydraulics are working. I saw the 3-point hitch is working too. Deck up and down nice and quick. What else was I moaning and complaining about? The brake is not perfect. You're gonna need some adjustment there. It does kick it back to neutral, but not all the way to neutral. So, but all in all, I'm pretty happy. I mean, it's got grass on the deck for the first time in I don't know how many years. I was pretty sure there was something else. Oh, I think I blew a headlight. Yeah, what the? I think I see a crack in the lens back here, so that's not good. So I'm gonna have to get the other light out of the other tractor because one headlight doesn't look cool. I haven't checked the voltage on the battery. You know what? Let's do that. All right, voltmeter's on. And wow, 13 volts. It's when I started it was 12 volts, and now it's up to 13. Is there some concern it's overcharging? Let's fire it up. Well, I'm going to say it's charging because I'm sure it was at 12 volts last time I checked, and it's cranking out 13 now. So all is good. I mean, holy, eh? I now have starting system, a ignition system, and a charging system. Yeehaw. Every single wire is doing what it's supposed to do. So I can't complain about a couple little things. Oh yeah, the other thing was that steering knuckle. Got to replace that. Maybe the one on the parts more is in good shape, and I can just, zippity-doo all that around, and I'll be good. So not entirely cheap. I mean, what I pay, 400, 450. Let's see. I wanted 6. I think I offered 3. And it ended up at, I'm pretty sure it ended up at 450. And there we go. I got 50 bucks worth, well, 40 bucks worth of points into it. And so let's just say $500 machine here. I think that's pretty decent, you know, for a good, hard-working, tough machine from the 70s. I'm pretty sure that deck is worth more than that. I think that's it for this lawn tractor. So hey, I hope you learned something about. Well, look at, here's the old electronics on the floor there. I mean, obviously I'm going to keep that, wrap it up, put it in a bag somewhere. I hope you got some value out of this video, you know, because it was a non-runner. It had all kinds of problems, and now it is a runner. So hopefully you can look over this video and see what I did. If you're in the same boat, hopefully you can get your old rig going again too. Now I got to find a snow blower or a plow, or I'll take the blade off the 960 and put it on this. I really like to extend the rods on the blade I've got and run it underneath, get the deck off this in the winter time and run it underneath and hook it up to that hydraulic lift. I'd really like to use that hydraulic lift for a blade plowing snow. All right, well, this is a good one. Not all of my projects pan out awesome, but this one really did. So I got the backup tractor for parts. Hopefully I can keep this guy going for many, many more years, and just keep working it the way it was designed to be worked. So I'm going to sell a few tractors because I really don't need 6 riding mowers. It's not that I don't need them, I just don't have room for them. All right, folks. Hey, from Ontario.